Welcome back to the Odryssian Kingdom campaign, where we are about to start taking some ground in Africa. We've cleaned up things in Spain, so let's get this ball rolling. Now, right off the bat, I want to check just how many missile units and kind of remind myself what we're up against. So it's a lot of hoplites, and actually not very many missile units. I'm trying to think of a plan for how I want to go into this. Because I have a cavalry advantage and a pike advantage, but I do not have like a very strong sword or hoplite advantage. So what I'm thinking is just get as many breaches as I can. Not worry about getting kills with the artillery, because I do have actually 2 extra artillery pieces, so just take down as many walls as possible, and then use my pikes as much as I can. So let's just get started and see how things look. Now my upload schedule has slowed down a ton because I'm working with a neurologist to try and get my tremor figured out so I can actually do things without shaking so much. And the meds she has me on are, well, the side effects are less than pleasant, so anyway, no need for me to be bitching and moaning about my problems. Let's just get in here and kill some Carthaginians. Rain, it's not really a problem. Screw it, we'll fight in the rain. Now I actually like the idea of attacking this corner. I usually do just because it's so open. But with my reinforcements coming in from all the way over here, since the main plan is to just break down a bunch of the wall and use my pikes, I may actually attack along this front here. Alright, first things first, as always, get the important units out of fire at will. Let's go ahead and bring the towers over here, I think. I'll go ahead and keep the swords here. And I'm going to try and hide them a little bit behind these ladders. Might be a bad idea, but whatever. Just to try and protect from any artillery they might have right off the bat. Now, the downside of fighting in the rain is if they do end up having artillery on the walls up here, I can't just burn it down with my archers. So, I'm actually going to put 1 artillery piece here and the other over here right off the start, so that we can use the artillery to break down those walls, because I really don't want to be taking those shots while we're opening up our breaches. I know that hitting those isn't going to give us breaches. I'll move the archers up anyway, just in case we can get an angle on the crews. Okay, now let's make sure we have all of our infantry at least over here. I'll keep them back as far as I can, just to help decrease the accuracy of their artillery. Now, in terms of a firing angle for these, since I have 2 of them and I really want to make good use of them, I'm thinking it might be beneficial to open up a hole here like to open this corner instead of opening up much out here, and then I can maybe shoot down this lane. But we will see how I feel about that momentarily. Alright, so right off the bat, no artillery's in range to shoot at me. Okay, so that buys me time, which is always nice.
Our reinforcements have arrived.
And since that is the case, I'm going to go ahead and move the artillery together and have them start firing. I think I will open up this area here.
We'll kill them all. Tracy and the Royal Cavalry. Advance at speed.
Alright, so we'll go ahead and let this develop nice and slow as usual. I'm not in any kind of rush. I just want to take my time and keep my dudes alive because I need the manpower to sustain my offensive. Let's go ahead and put these guys up with the other archers. Take you off of fire at will immediately. Okay, let's see. Let's line the scorpions up over here. And then just see how we're feeling about things. Okay, the big boy artillery is still positioning. Let's keep the melee infantry all together. I'm gonna move. Let me just reorganize this real quick. I'm actually going to go ahead and move all of the melee infantry down here so that my pikes will be all on the same row. Alright, now let's see. Let's get the pikes right up here in the center. We'll get the archers right behind the artillery. The cavalry doesn't really matter what it does, right off the bat at least. Okay, the peltasts matter because they can get some really good damage in, but we will wait to do anything special with them. I'll go ahead and just lump all of the melee infantry over here with the ladders. Why not?
We hunger for blood and battle. Forward!
Alright, with the artillery in position, we can go ahead and start breaking down some of these walls. I would like to trap as many hoplites up here as I can. So let's see, if I were to break down this and then break down this, that would trap, basically, I could trap 2 units of hoplites up here. But would I have the ammo to open up this wall after? I'm trying to think, if I get good shots, I think I can open 4, maybe 5 breaches. So that would be enough for both of these zones, and then 3 more. Let's go for the tower first. It's just extra damage I don't want to take. Not a particularly good first volley. Didn't get any overshot kills. About the same on the second, which is okay. Oh, you know what? If these are spears, they're actually not as valuable to kill. Or to trap. Okay, we're starting to get a little bit of extra damage out here, but not much. Okay, good. Because they can still run across that to escape. Unless I break, yeah, I'll go ahead and break down this corner, because I'm going to want that corner gone anyway. Really? That first volley did 8? That's better. I was gonna say, something's not right there. Oh, it's because the artillery wasn't shooting in full volleys.
The walls are
Okay,
breached.
let's go ahead and take down this one now. Okay, we've got 2 breaches and used not quite half of our ammo. Okay, let's actually stop. It's not as important to trap them on the wall as it is to make our ammo use efficient. So let's go ahead and reposition because they'll shoot more effectively. In my experience, it feels like the artillery shoots more accurate when it's shooting straight at the wall instead of kind of at an angle towards the wall. It is going to allow this unit of spears to escape, but at this point that's no longer the priority. Matter of fact, I'm wondering if I should just give up on that segment of wall entirely and just bring down the more important breaches. You know what? Yeah, that's more important. Go ahead and just stop where you are. Get turned forward. Alright, did I ever even move my pikes? Okay, I did. Good.
Warriors, eager for blood.
Okay, we'll keep the hoplites nice and close. The pikes. Is that really all of them? I feel like that's not very many pikes.
Battle ready
Go ahead
and
and move
eager.
this cavalry just out of the way for now.
Riders, advance. Amista. Commander.
Not in love with this angle so far for the scorpions. Maybe I'll like it more once I bring down these couple of wall segments. Alright, so we did get a couple of overshot kills. That's always nice. Okay, be enough damage to bring it down.
The
Good.
walls are breached.
Okay, so to actually get shots down that, I need to break down this segment as well. But I think I would rather get this one. And since I'm going to have to make a choice between the two, I'm going to go for this one. Got a lot of extra kills there. See, when we're shooting like this, the artillery just doesn't feel as accurate. Since we're on an angle, that's the only thing that, in my couple of hours playing this game, that's the only thing I can think is causing problems, is that it is shooting at an angle. But even then, technically, there's actually more surface area to hit at this angle, so I'm not sure what's going on. I might not even have enough ammo to bring this down. That would be disappointing. Okay, we should have enough, hopefully. If not, I'm actually going to be pretty upset.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Alright, good. So we got that whole segment of wall down. Let's go ahead and put the pikes in position a little more. Pull the artillery back out of the way.
Advance and speed.
It's not exactly a vital step, but
Bloody move.
anything I can do to help keep things neat for myself.
Scorpion.
Now, unfortunately, that doesn't give us a good angle to shoot into this with. But I might be able to kind of cheese it and kind of get an angle anyway. So I'm thinking if we shoot from there into here, because the main thing is I have to be able to shoot over this lump that the wall rubble has left. So to do that, are they thinking about charging out, or are they just defending the gate here? I think they're just defending the gate. Anyway, to give myself a little bit better of an angle shooting over this, I'm going to set up there, because then I'm hoping I can hit units in this area. are we taking fire from? Was it just the tower for a second? It may have just been the tower. I might send the cavalry over here to try and start breaking down the walls, but I'm not going to do that yet. What are you taking fire from? Is it these guys? Can they shoot? Yeah, it's those guys. So they're not actually, like, actively shooting, really, so that's not really a concern. Yet, I may still use the, or I may still send my archers over to put a stop to that nonsense. Another option here is I could start to send some melee infantry up on the walls and just hold the walls, but I'd rather not be fighting near those towers. That said, my melee infantry would do pretty well against these guys up here. So I could get established on the wall relatively easily, I think. Okay, Scorpion, go ahead and spread out a little more than that. And archers, go ahead and move forward. And we'll see what they do with their missile units. They do have some up on the walls here. Now the danger is if I put my pikes on here, it's very, very difficult to get units to form up correctly and still fight across these remains of the wall. So pikes could end up dying very, very quickly if I try that. Okay, their archers are going to run out here, I guess. Are these archers, or are they just like javelin men or slingers or something? I think they might be slingers. I'm a little confused about what's going on here. But it's an opportunity to use cavalry. So why not? Let's go for it. These guys are getting shot probably from over the wall, maybe? Not quite sure where they're getting shot from just yet. Okay, let's run one of you past and the other one over here. No need to start shooting them. If we can kill them with cavalry, we're gonna kill them with cavalry. They should retreat a little bit, but they can't get away now. The main thing here is to break them. I'm gonna take a little bit of javelin fire, but that's okay. Alright. Let's start shooting those guys and see what happens. I'm focusing all of my archers on the same units because I want to break them as quickly as possible, and the more decisively a unit is losing, the faster they will rout. That's why cavalry does so well against skirmishers, is because they can beat them incredibly decisively. Well, that's part of why cavalry does well with skirmishers. Okay, that's just melee infantry throwing some javelins. We can afford to take some of that damage. I don't want to though, so let's actually pull back a little bit out of range of that. Because we actually took quite a bit of damage on this unit. And we're going to get some serious performance issues. I should have not fought in the rain just for that, if for no other reason than the performance. Just because it's one more thing for the game to try and handle. Alright, so they're not really putting much in this breach right now. Let's go ahead and fire into the cavalry with this, just because it's the most available target. And these things do incredibly well against cavalry anyway. They actually have a couple of units back here, and we're hitting them as well, so that's nice. Look at how many horses we're taking out. It is a little weird to me that my guys aren't shooting into that body of horses, though. They're shooting over here. Alright, we'll call that good for now. Now let's see. I think it's just time to send the pikes in. We're gonna take some javelins, but I think we'll be okay. Just move these guys up nice and slow all together. Just get the archers out of the way so we can keep our formations clean. That unit of pikes on the left is going to take a whole bunch of javelin fire, so we probably won't actually end up putting them into very much melee combat. Go ahead and just keep everyone nearby, just so we have options.
They will flee for us! Move out! Commander!
Okay, now I'm not going to put it on the wall just yet, but I am going to push my towers up to the walls. You guys are not under fire yet, that is nice. Okay, that unit will break quickly. That unit actually has a little bit of health still. I might be able to get some decent shots into this phalanx, so let's see what we can do here. Okay, I don't want to do too much because my pikes can handle these guys. We'll call that good on this unit for now. And yeah, we are going to take some javelin fire. But that's okay. That's an awfully thick line of pikes. Okay, how are things looking? These guys are getting shot at, but that isn't even a slight concern. Keep the lancers out there just in case. I want to keep the general nearby so he can run up and do war cry. It'd be nice if they would come out and attack me so I didn't have to deal with the walls as much. The rubble. I don't care about shooting into the light spears. My main thing is I want to get their phalanx infantry off the field. I might be able to get some shots into the rear of this unit. Yeah, so we have angle into that, which is good. Go ahead and just let that play out for a moment. Okay, you guys... Not quite sure what's going on with the towers being turned sideways, but I think I'm going to take these guys off the towers and pull them back. Okay, let's go ahead and have you stop firing for a minute. Okay, you know what? Whatever, good enough. Just go ahead and pull back now. What on earth is going on up here? That looks like javelins from units that died on the walls, but I don't know why they're still in midair like that. Alright, so we do technically have an angle on those guys. We don't have very good of an angle there, or here, but we can shoot over the wall into that, because we're on a slight rise. Let's actually slide over just a little bit more. They're not shooting my pikes, so I don't need to move into them just yet. I can just hold here. The This is always the tricky part with using pikes. This is why I generally wouldn't use pikes or hoplites for an offensive siege. It's because they really, really struggle to fight in a clean formation. Let's go ahead and put a volley into these guys, just why not? But this is what I actually wanted to shoot into. Try and target the healthier unit first. And I'll just let this play out a little bit. I want to save a little bit of ammo on these guys, but I probably will spend most of the rest of it right here. We're not getting particularly effective shots right now, though, I don't think. Because it seems like we're just hitting this corner of the unit instead of the center of the unit. Yeah, we're doing some pretty good damage, though. We'll go ahead and just keep up with that. Oh, if I had my general up here, I might even be able to break some of these guys right now.
Missile arms, riders! Quickly now!
Since they're not shooting at me, why not? Let's pull the general up here. Okay, let's go ahead and stop for a moment, because a lot of our shots were going over here. Okay, we've done some really good damage to these couple of units, though. They're wavering. They'll probably stop wavering now that they're not being shot. Now, I don't think that Warcry stacks, otherwise I would totally just use both of them on this unit. I don't think that's going to be quite enough. Oh, it actually broke them. That's kind of cool. I mean, it's not going to really do much because they should rally. And since they're not engaged in combat right now, I'm not going to be able to just quickly cut through them. Now, I do want to use my artillery before I get too heavily involved in the melee. Also still got all of my archers, though. Let's see, if I shoot from this side, I'm shooting into their left, which is their shielded side, so that's not as ideal, but at least I'm shooting into their side instead of their front. Trying to think how best to use my archers here.
We'll kill them all! Thracian warriors!
Let's go ahead and move these guys back a little bit and move these three a little bit further into the breach. Can't quite get the formation how I want it, though. Okay, let's try that and just see what happens. And since they're not shooting me, I can go ahead and just move all of my units nice and close. I really want them to come out and attack me, though. Even though they would have the downhill advantage, my guys would fight better in this formation. Okay, let's see if I can get these units pushed forward without completely screwing up their formations. Where is it? I might need to go a little bit skinnier for that, actually. Okay, let's set up like that and then see if we can just push it forward, because the game still thinks there's a wall here, so I can't just give a move order there and have it work properly, which is really unfortunate. And if I just give an attack order, my guys' formations will get all kinds of screwed up. But let's see how this does. I'll put the pikes down and then hopefully just march forward. I do need to have a couple of units available to help on the flanks if need be. Okay, good. The melee has begun. If they're content to leave me alone on this side, that's okay with me. Now this is going to be a real long battle. It's already been a very long battle. but you know, this is kind of just how I like battles or sieges to play out. I like them to be more slow and methodical. Plus it gives me more of a chance to actually watch the battle instead of trying to micro like crazy. Okay, so they're ignoring that unit on the left. That's not one of my guys, is it? Yeah, that is one of my guys. I thought it wasn't because he was wearing brown. See, they're getting a little bit around the corner on me here, which isn't great, but it's not catastrophic. Let's see how these guys are doing. These guys are actually not doing well at all. But I guess all of these units are getting a lot of kills, so bring the general up here and we'll use as much war cry as we can. Because that just sends their units packing. Man, I love war cry. Best general ability in the game, in my opinion. Okay, now let's try and get into a little bit more advantageous position on them. Well, maybe not just yet. Here comes their elephants. Let's just hold position. Let's let this play out. I'm going to go ahead and bring the archers around the corner here. Let's see what the elephants do. If they're just going to run past, I'm going to try and hit them with the artillery. This artillery isn't particularly good at shooting elephants. Okay, I'm going to hold fire now. If they go into the pikes, that's perfect. If they don't, that's not terrible. I can actually get this unit in here to plug that gap. So I'm going to do that. Okay, the elephants will do okay, but we should kill them relatively easily here. I'm hesitant to shoot them just because it's kind of a funky angle. Okay, let's give these guys a war cry. See, this formation's getting all kinds of messed up. Depending on where these guys end up, I might just pull them back, but if they stop here, I'll leave them. Yeah, we'll take some casualties. Let's get these guys in position to replace those other two units. Okay, we are starting to get shot. Where from? Just javelins from melee units, that's okay. One of the problems is the elephant corpses kind of make the infantry fighting weird. Do you have a war cry back? Yeah, not for another 30 seconds, that's okay. Okay, you guys pull back out of there first. Okay, the elephants are gone. And now you can go ahead and get in position. Alright, let's just keep letting this play out a little bit. I'm actually going to pull back a little bit here.
Spears!
That's what I want my archers on, right there. Not sure where to go for the best angle on them. But we need to get the archers shooting those guys quickly. Go ahead and leave these guys out of phalanx for now. These guys didn't get to reposition very well. Let's try again to pull them out of there a little bit. Okay, can we get a good angle into this group without shooting our own guys? Kind of, yeah, that looks alright. Okay, our archers are mostly over here. Let's go ahead and give an attack order and let them do their own thing and see what they do. General, get those guys off the field, please. Okay, you guys just go ahead and spend the rest of your ammo right there. That's fine.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Okay, you guys form up so you can actually get clean volleys. No need to chase those guys down. They will all die no matter what anyway. Okay, you guys go ahead and get in formation. And go plug that gap. You guys go ahead and get out of formation and pull back. Archers are in position well enough. Okay, 2 of them are moving. Where are they moving to? As long as they don't try and go through the wall, it's fine if they move. Okay, they're stopping and firing, that's good. The artillery's out of ammo, that's fine. These guys have taken some damage, but I mean, they're fighting on relatively flat ground and taking an engagement in the front, so they'll be okay. These guys are doing quite well for themselves, actually, especially since it's a naval unit. Usually naval units rout quickly when they're fighting on land. Okay. I think by having the towers here like this, we're actually keeping lots of their units up on the walls, which is helpful. Okay, you guys have taken less casualties, so you can move over here and be ready to fill in that gap. Go ahead and just walk, though. Okay, now hoplites. Whatever, we'll just send these guys. We're gonna go get a foothold. I don't remember how many units they had in total, so I don't know if this is it. Okay, now let's see. You guys move through to here. You guys and you guys move through to here. Let's try and get a decent formation over here. These guys got caught out of formation, so let's just give them the order to pull back out of that engagement and reform. See if we can maybe rout one of these units of cav real quick. I never even put these guys into phalanx, so I should probably do that. Okay, the archers are not under fire.
Missiles ready! Spears!
Let's go ahead and send in some of these elite troops into this gap, and we'll use them to start pushing in on the flank here. If we give an attack order to have you guys move forward, how are you going to do?
Battle ready and eager! Forward! Thracian warriors! We'll kill them all! Get ready!
Okay, I think this is basically over at this point. Let's go ahead and just start pumping some archer fire into these guys. Taking some kind of heavy casualties on this unit now. I suspect this will help these guys get off the field pretty quickly. Once these guys get a little bit formed up, we can get them through this gap here. Okay, let's start another couple of units moving forward. I'm okay taking a phalanx engagement here. We're probably not doing a ton of damage with our archers like this, but the main thing is to keep them under heavy missile fire to try and lower their morale. Yeah, let's go ahead and chuck that in there and see what happens. You guys hurry and get in position over here. You guys turn that direction. Okay, they're not in phalanx. Oh, they just switched to phalanx. Okay, let's go ahead and just form up. Don't worry about charging. Our purpose in this position is to hold them back so they cannot reinforce their main line. Now, their phalanx troops here will definitely beat mine, because they're just way better. Okay, let's actually pull back. Try and get a bit of a kill box here for it. You guys can start charging through to be the flank force. You guys quit moving. Just stay there. Archers, go ahead and stop firing. Okay, I know I'm not really using the melee infantry at all, but I'm okay with that. We are taking this phalanx engagement, which should be going quite well for us. We're taking some casualties because they're just charging in. But I think generally speaking that is a relatively easy to win engagement. If they want to move in like that, let's go ahead and just slide past them. Let's see if we can cut these guys off from reinforcing. And we'll surround them with other units. Okay, you guys go into phalanx and engage. You guys, that's a lot of javelins, but just deal with it. You guys get up here behind that unit. Alright, now the pikes can kind of sit out the rest of this. Obviously not going to go into phalanx with this unit. We're just going to charge them in. If they turn and face, then we will form phalanx with this unit, take these guys out of phalanx and charge them in. Okay, let's go ahead and go in and chase those guys down. And then let's get these units in to hold this flank. I should have done this ages ago, but it's okay. Now ideally my pikes would be taking on their phalanx units, just because I would be more successful in those engagements. But I think we'll be just fine as it is. These pikes are under fire from who? They're archers. Okay, my archers don't even need to do anything, never mind. I could pull my archers over here and get some shots into the side of this unit though, so let's do that.
Ready for battle! Orders!
Okay, I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. I think maybe that one unit that we sent the generals in after initially routed, and they kept chasing it down. They still have a lot of units left. Okay, you guys go ahead and just go straight through here. We're going to get you ready to take on that unit of spears. Okay, these guys won't last much longer. We can go ahead and break the phalanx and just get into them.
Our general is under attack.
General will be okay. They can't send any of this melee infantry down to immediately threaten my general. Okay. You guys get to go hold this.
Bow horsemen!
I obviously did not get a good charge here because these guys are not dying quickly. Let's see if we can pull one of the generals out
Horse!
and then get around and rear charge them. Okay, they're coming to meet me, so let's just pull back a little bit. They're fast enough that we just need to countercharge. Okay, we've collapsed that unit clean enough. Let's get up here to reinforce this one. Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay, these guys are handling their engagement pretty well. I do want a slightly more healthy unit to replace them, though. Okay, archers, get those guys off the walls.
Odryssian warriors!
Guys, go ahead and lower the spears, and then you can just have an attack order. Shooting into the exposed
One of our
right
units has
flank.
used all its ammunition.
Okay, I pulled the general out, but then didn't bother actually charging around, so that was a bit silly of me. Let's go ahead and send the general back over there now. Okay, that should be the battle, right? There we go. Alright, took a while, but I think that was fairly efficient. We lost 5% of our army, and I think the auto-resolve was giving us slightly less than 90% survival. So we outperformed the auto-resolve. It's actually less than 5% of our army died. No, that's actually just about exactly 5% of our army. Anyway. Now, our Scorpions put in some serious work, at least this one did. So I'm happy with that. I didn't bother sending any of my melee infantry up on the walls just because I didn't need to. This man just stabbed a boat to death. The Chad, Grumpy's guard. Alright. Okay, obviously none of them really did anything. The Pikes doing most of the, well, much of the work. Archer's not getting anything too crazy, but yeah, the Scorpion's getting more than 600 kills between the two of them. Actually, more than 700 kills between the two of them. I think I set up that angle pretty well, and then the AI just fell right into it, which is fine with me. Alright, let's go ahead and just deconstruct everything over here.
Ready for battle! Ready for battle!
Yeah, between these two armies, it's a pretty potent force. I'm actually pretty pleased with how the Pikes did. Now that I'm actually, because I actually learned how to use them on the walls a little more effectively. That's part of the problem I had been facing, is I didn't know how to use the Pikes very well. Now I could actually almost make it across here and launch an attack, but I don't think this army is entirely capable of taking on two forces by itself and surviving with enough left to hold off a counterattack. So we'll just go ahead and keep playing defensive over there. Alright. Now I have no idea where we were at with all of this stuff anymore. It's not a rebellion, is it? No, that's the Irish. Okay, a couple of fleets out here, but neither of them are a major concern. We've got plenty of force nearby. public order is still not great up here, and since they have fleets nearby, I'm just going to go ahead and sit in the city for... I'm just going to keep sitting in the city. Now, at this point, I almost have too many armies over here. Once those fleets are out of the picture, I can bring these guys over and then take Ibos, and we can start moving through, because I think I'll just need 3 armies to go through Africa. 4 would make it easier, but 3 should be enough. Anyway, we'll worry about the rest of that momentarily. Now what's happening down here?
Ready for battle.
I was thinking about charging into these guys and decided against it.
Warriors all.
Do you think I even could get an ambush here? I mean, they've got an agent, so it's not like I don't think I would actually even be able to ambush them. Alright, we can start building this up.
Ready for battle. Warriors all.
Where are Candy's Conquerors? Oh, Candy's Conquerors moved down here, didn't they? Yep, okay. I'd better start building this while I'm looking at it, because otherwise I will definitely forget. Let's go ahead and go for public order in there. Get some food started up here. Should have plenty of sanitation. We're getting some public order, so let's go for some extra money here. And you know what? Let's maybe even go for the slave trader. Now we are short on food, so I'm not going to upgrade these 2 just yet. Alright, now, do I want to go on the offensive? I think these guys just finished dealing with the remains of an army. That's why they're low on movement range. Okay, here's what I'm going to do on this end. We're going to pop them into the city so that they can hold it, because I'm very, very confident that these guys could hold. Our garrison won't be at full strength, but it would be just extra troops. And then Blund's bandits can come over here, and we can start to gear up to take on this army. So we're still holding on defense. We can hold everything along this front. Once we take them out, that's another army we can bring forward. I still don't feel any need to go in against Egypt. I could go up here and try and reinforce these guys, but where this army is almost dead anyway, and Egypt has 4 strong 20 stacks, I think that would just be suicide, especially for a mediocre army. These guys are pretty good, but they're not that pretty good.
Warriors all.
Alright, now have I done everything I need to out here? Probably. You know what, we can get a bunch of extra money off of that. Actually not that much, but extra wealth from industry is always nice. Let's go for it. Because our banditry is under control, our public order is under control, and our squalor is under, or our sanitation is under control. Don't need to build up anything over here just yet. Scythia actually has some population growth. Alright. I'm going to go for a stronger garrison. Is this the thing that would provide the best garrison, though? Let's see, 2 Thracian horse and 3 Thracian warriors. Versus if I go with something like... Oh, do you know what? They don't even have it. Never mind. That's in the smaller settlements, not in provincial capitals. I was thinking one of, like, these. But no, that definitely is the stronger garrison boost if I just go with the muster field and max that out. Okay, let's check the provinces. Am I just not taxing this place, or is it... Yeah, it just has really bad empire maintenance stats. Alright, that's fine. Don't necessarily need the income from there anyway, because we're still making 45,000 per turn. Corsica, we have an army there. Mauritania is fine. Alright, Thrake is the only other one we really need to look at. Now, we're at -5 public order. Once we get that up to tier 3, we will be at -1 public order during the summer. It'll be slightly less than that, so I need to still do something else about public order here. Man, that's a lot of food. I didn't realize that thing was providing as much food as it was, otherwise I would just convert that. Well, I guess it's only -4 public order. Of course, if I switch it to this, there is no minus public order, but that's a shift in -14 food if I do that. Which I could handle. Anyway, that's not how I'm going to handle that, I don't think. So, for now, let's just double check our agents. Okay, this guy could do something. Let's go check on the Parthians over here. Okay, so we do have a lot of force over here. I was considering moving these guys forward, but I don't think it's necessary. I'd like to get line of sight on that city. Okay. You can go ahead and just chill there for the time being. Now, I could have taken this city with Blund's bandits and these guys. I could have taken it next turn. These guys don't have the movement range this turn. But doing that would leave Ekbatana open to attack from Susa. And so I would have to defend Raga and Ekbatana. That's why I didn't make that choice just yet. I still might pull these guys up and have them do some raiding in here. I mean, that is a strong Parthian army. Well, I say it's strong, but it's mostly because I'm looking at these 3 units. So they have actually a lot of infantry between these 2 armies, so my 2 armies would struggle mightily against it. Because my infantry wouldn't stand half a chance. Alright, so now I'm not going to bother going forward and raiding. Let's just get back to what I was in the middle of, which is checking through the agents. Now, they didn't have an army down here 3 turns ago. I suspect they're not raising one over there either, so I'm not too concerned about sending a spy back down to check the corner of the map. Okay, I think he just got recruited. Since we brought this other spy back up this direction anyway, I'm just going to send him down here. Okay, Susa is poorly defended. We could take that with 1 army relatively easily. Susa, Parsa, and Gore. Once we take that, the only other thing that we would need to do is get a military alliance with the RDA. Of course, I don't think the RDA will accept it, because they don't need it. They are actually at war with a couple of people now. I wonder if I could get a military alliance here.
I've called for good ale to ease your
Just
throat
throw a ton
and-
of money at them. Oh, I don't have a ton of money.
women
Oh, wait,
to
yeah.
ease other
I thought that was 40,000, not 400,000. But it looks like they don't want military alliance anyway. What if I join war against those guys? Would you have a military alliance with me then? What if I joined war and gave you all of the money I have? Okay. Well, that is unfortunate because it means to actually reach the victory conditions, we would need to eliminate the RDA. Because if we can't get a military alliance, then we have to destroy them. But you know what? A defensive alliance, for me, that's good enough. I would probably consider that to be good enough if I just had a defensive alliance with them and then took the province of Parsa. which we are only 4 cities away from doing. I say 4 because I would probably need to take this one as well. And then we can start to get into the Pergamon campaign finally. Alright, well, anyway, that's enough goofing off. I keep distracting myself from what I was trying to do. Let's go ahead and get the Empire maintenance reduction, because that is always going to be a problem. Candy's Conquerors get to sit still and hopefully get some replenishment. Everyone else can just keep doing their thing. Double check loyalty. Since this campaign has essentially wound down to a close, I'm not terribly concerned about making sure we get people married every turn. But I'll still probably do it just out of habit. But for this turn, since I've dragged this episode out long enough anyway, or rather I've dragged this turn out long enough because all we did is fight that siege. I didn't even do much like army management or anything. I'm kind of surprised Carthage didn't request peace. Because if I remember right, they requested peace 1 or 2 turns ago. Alright, well, an uneventful end turn. And a pretty straightforward episode. Go ahead and refuse that. Alright, and we'll go ahead and end this episode here. I may just go ahead and end this campaign still. I straight up haven't decided if I'm even going to pursue this, because at this point, I think I've got things under enough control that it's pretty obvious I'm capable of winning. And even if I had to, I could establish defenses on the Western Front. Like, I could just hold here and maybe here, and then send all 4 or 5, or all 3 or 4 of my other armies back over here to deal with the RDA if I really needed to take these 3 cities. But, you know what, screw it. I might just end it here. I might just end this campaign here, and we will move on to the Pergamon campaign. I don't know. I'll decide eventually. But I hope you guys are enjoying and still looking forward to seeing me take over as Pergamon. It's been a long time since I've properly started a campaign in the DEI mod, so it'll be interesting to see if I can actually survive the first several turns. But anyway, we will call that here and see you guys in the next one.